Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Memes of the Week. The best thing you can do for this channel is smash the like button the way that female high school teachers smash their students, so this video reaches a wider audience. But before I get on with the memes, first a word from today's sponsor, Late Stage Empire. Aaron is a retired Army infantry veteran in Texas, with this YouTube channel called Late Stage Empire. He's a music producer that enjoys working in or combining different genres. He plays the piano, bass, and guitar and is trading shekels for subs, as he wants some new subscribers to his channel. He's also looking for people to reach out to him to collaborate on music. Subscribe to his channel. Sponsor link is down below. And now on with the memes. Number 1, so this is the world we're living in now. When a straight woman is cast to play a straight woman, a mob of trans people blast Nintendo for casting a woman to star in Legend of Zelda. Again, Nintendo is owned by the Japanese, and they don't care about woke ideology and pandering to mental patients. Also, I don't think that less than 0.1% of the population qualifies to be called a trans mob. Moving on, oh no, this poor black woman left the United States for Russia, so she could escape discrimination only to be beaten by her racist neighbors. Odds are she was probably playing the music too loud at 6 a.m. on a Sunday morning. Plus, Russian women don't put up with loudmouth Letitias either. Also, if she wanted to escape discrimination, why didn't she just move to Africa? But she thought she could act black in Russia and expect them to put up with it like whites in America. Number 3, are there any hopeless romantics out there that want to hook up with this woman and her African for the long term? Just by looking at this picture, I can tell she must have been into hookups not too long ago. Also, she definitely has the hopeless part right. As well, by the looks of that kid with eyes like those, it looks like she's gonna murder you in your sleep. But seriously, what white man doesn't want to raise a beautiful black baby from this woman's previous relationship? Up next, this white man pretended to be a black Nigerian so he could get published, and he was. He wrote intentionally bad poems and got 47 of them published. Whatever happened to meritocracy? This just proves how biased our society is these days. So even poetry publishers are publishing DEI content. Where is that white privilege that I keep hearing all about? I also wonder how they punished him when they learned that he was an author in blackface. Number 5, this woman is a trad wife, homeschool mom as well as a nurse. But once upon a time she had a different past. As far as I'm concerned, she's a chameleon right now and she's a former carousel rider. Here's an actual picture of her husband when he finds out about her past, and there's not a thing he can do about it, because she has him trapped with kids and the sword of Damocles of divorce is dangling over his head. The moral of the story is that never under any circumstances marry a nurse. Moving on, this individual is wondering why if gay men don't like girls, they date girly men, and if lesbians don't like men, they date manly girls instead. That's because they're attracted to either masculinity or femininity, but have a different preference for the wedding tackle that their relationship partner has. Also, if lesbians are real, then why are their toys that they keep in their nightstand shaped like the male member? Because that's what satisfies them, of course. Also, this individual clearly hasn't been to gay biker bars. Number 7, here's how many of us from Gen X used to look like coming home after playing outside all day. I was also covered in mud going through unpaved dirt bike trails after it rained. I'd end up washing myself off in a local creek before finally heading home. Then again, this could also just be the kid from Mad Max that went on to become the leader of the Great Northern Tribe. Now I have the funny urge to throw a sharp boomerang at somebody. Up next, imagine being Riley Reid's child. That kid's going to be living his life on maximum difficulty mode. Imagine the teasing in school. Also imagine how many men are going to shame her husband for marrying a corn star that's been run through by gangs of BBCs. Then again, in 6 to 7 years, he'll probably be in an expensive private school, and his classmates won't care, because many of their mothers will also be former OF models. The bullying will probably happen online. Number 9, some guy's mother told him that while she was growing up, they had a smoking area at their school. The same for me. We used to have the same thing, and it was called the bud wall, where teachers and students would have conversations while smoking together. Also, does anyone remember all those ashtrays at their local fast food restaurants? I remember ashtrays built into walls next to elevators. I'm surprised they didn't have them in elevators back then as well. Moving on, this woman was arrested for collecting child support from 3 different men for the same child. Looks like modern women will do anything for money except get married and support a man. These men should also be able to sue the state because they allowed this to happen in the first place. The really sad part is that when she comes out of jail, some sad soul is going to think that he can fix her. She needs to pay it back, but you know she probably won't. Number 11, who remembers Andy Byron, the CEO of The Astronomer? He's worth tens of millions of dollars, and that's the woman he had an affair with. You'd think he could do a lot better with somebody else while cheating with his wife. Now he's suing Coldplay for ruining his life. Looks like his marriage is over and he's no longer a CEO. It looks like having all that money doesn't actually give you common sense either. Some people said his wife was beautiful, but she looks similar to this woman. Up next is the attitude of many modern women, that they don't want to give birth because they want to end this generation of men's lineage. Meanwhile, they're also ending their own. I think her answer is just an excuse for her being a toxic 40-year-old washed-up woman that nobody wants anymore. Well, look on the bright side. At least she saved some lucky bastard a lifetime of paying child support. The only one who cares about this is her mother. Number 13, are you this old? Actually, I'm older, but I do remember getting a sweet machine like this in '96 with Windows 95 on it, and Command & Conquer 2. I'm also old enough to remember playing Commodore 74s in the computer lab in grade school. Just kidding. They were actually Commodore 64s. Back then you were rich if your parents could afford to get you more than one computer at home. At some point I also had one of these bad boys with that horribly tiny green screen. Moving on, people claim that Jennifer Love Hewitt is aging like fine wine. She's aging more like a fat wino. Her figure turned from the shape of a bottle to the shape of a keg. Also, everyone is afraid to call her fat in this age of fat empowerment. At least she didn't get as big as Nelly Furtado. There's no excuse to not stop eating Twinkies and get off the couch. Plus, Ozempic is affordable if she's too lazy to sweat. Also, please point me to the wine that doubles in volume over time. Number 15 looks like New Zealand is projected to be a majority Indian country in just 50 years, thanks to the right-wing government's migration policy. The same with Canada at this rate. Looks like Indians will inherit the Haka. Imagine that. The most important thing you should gain from this story is that it doesn't matter who you vote for, the left or the right. They'll both flood your country with mass migrants and destroy your currency through inflation. Up next, before they were shut down, insane asylums house the woke. Looks like it's time to reopen them instead of letting the mental cases rewire our civilization for their crazy needs. Today, the only thing that remains of insane asylums is a place for urban explorers to make abandoned videos. I remember when they closed the asylums in Canada. The homeless population exploded immediately. People thought mental illness could be solved simply through medication. Look how well that worked. Number 17, this woman was fatally jabbed while she was loading groceries by a 14-year-old boy in Toronto. She relaxed too much and enrichment happened to her. And this boomer probably voted for it too. It's a shame how she walked into a knife over and over again. In Canada, she isn't even allowed to carry the means necessary to defend herself. Also, care to guess the woman's ethnicity based on that one big feature in the middle of her face. Moving on, back in 2021, this man thought he was buying a vacant lot, but it turns out he bought the entire street and the city fought him to get it back from him. Dude tried to build a house and accidentally became the mayor. Now he can connect all the houses with tunnels and make one super house. In the end, he got the house at the end of the street and the street itself. The city stopped maintaining it and it went to poop. Number 19, apparently here's the difference between fantasy and reality for men and women. OnlyFans doesn't work for the majority of women, and we need to stop pretending like it does. For most women, the easy button is getting a rich beta bucks to marry them. Only like 1 or 2% of OF creators make enough money to live off of. The rest just ruin their prospects for employment at other jobs. Up next, this will probably go down as one of the greatest moments of upstaging in Hollywood history. Hollyweird will be gone in 10 years, replaced by AI. But this is forever. Don Johnson's daughter doesn't look too happy that Sydney Sweeney pulled up in a top like that with her massive chesticles. I didn't even know who Sydney Sweeney was until she put that jumpsuit on and stole her thunder. Madam Webb here doesn't look too happy that she has flat tatas. Number 21, meanwhile in Germania, the fertility rates keep falling to an all-time low. 1.35 kids, and it's going to fall further. The elites don't need more humans as workers and everything is working out according to plan. Soon the economy will be robots and AI making everything, and rich people will be selling stuff to each other while everybody else is poor. The poor won't start a revolution because the rich will have robot armies to keep them in check. Get rich as quickly as possible or you'll be facing a dystopian nightmare. Moving on, Tyler asks if he can actually make a reality show where boomers try applying for jobs for the first time in 30 years. To see how quickly they have a mental breakdown. Better yet, maybe we should actually have a show where boomer politicians live off of their citizens' average income. Another idea is just to get them to try and use a phone and do their own tech supports. A lot of boomers have a hard time with technology for some reason. Number 23, 60 to 80% of men aren't getting married or even dating, and people are wondering why it's happening. I predicted this over 10 years ago now. When sex bots become a reality, 95% will check out, maybe even more. The majority of men are now going their own way because the juice is no longer worth the squeeze with modern women these days. Most women are insufferable and just not worth the effort, and guys are checking out because of it. The last hope for marriage-minded men is to go overseas to find a wife. Up next in the film Subservience, Alice is a robot butler equipped with the UV sanitizing light inside of her mouth, so she doesn't need to brush her teeth, although she doesn't even eat. Gee, I wonder what she could be putting in her mouth that requires some sanitizing. It's obviously for suckling her male master schwing. The first task we get artificial general intelligence to do is to make these for men. AI wouldn't even have to fire the first shot to win. Just provide men with sex bots and we would bow down to it. Number 25 and the last one, Which Way Young Man? Sydney Sweeney or Doja Cat? Looks more like Doja Dodo Bird to me. I'm choosing Sweeney because I like big knockers attached to a pretty face. If you're super stumped, don't forget there's a third way gentleman, a post-wall woman in her early 20s that now looks like Morticia Adams instead of Wednesday. What's up with her eyebrows? Did she lose them in a freak barbecue accident or something? So that's it for another Memes of the Week. Please give this video a like to push it up in the algorithm and so new viewers can find it. If you enjoy this series and want me to keep making it, then donate at the PayPal and Subscribe Star links. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your day, and cheers.